online haircut.
Welcome back to Avenues. We're on episode 214. We are back in the garage. It's been a while, and it's gonna be a short episode. Justin just came back from California, so we're gonna be talking about that. We're in the garage really early this morning, so if I sound like shit, that's why, because I'm so tired. It was so hot trying to sleep last night. Like, I don't have AC in my house. Like, I feel like most houses in Vancouver don't have, like, a heat pump with AC because they're really expensive, and you just don't need them because it doesn't get, like, normally it doesn't get very hot here. Yeah. So I just had a very uncomfortable sleep. It took a while to fall asleep, and so I feel like shit this morning. Now, I'm not one to have caffeine. I don't really like caffeine. I don't think it's good for you. And so I just, you know, in my mind, it's like, you want better sleep, you want to not be tired, just get better sleep. Just like go to sleep, right? Yeah. I mean, some people have like sleep insomnia or whatever. That's a whole different story. Anyway, this episode's not about sleeping, so let's change the topic to Justin's trip. I think that's our biggest topic this week. We'll talk about what he did in California. And what did you think about getting doxxed last episode?
Yeah, so the doxxed last episode was pretty funny. I was just watching that before we recorded this episode, so pretty funny. Editing's been really good. Gotta say, it's on point. The intro is also really good, so I've been fucking with that. But yeah, really funny. I didn't get no one came up to me.
No fans came up?
No one came to my house or like my place of
no, it's your house. You're not avoiding it. It's your house.
It's my house. That's where I live. But yeah, so no one came up, which is probably a good thing, honestly. But no, it was a great trip. We left on Thursday or Friday, and then I got back yesterday, so that would have been Friday. So it was like a full week pretty much. But yeah, basically we were down there for the Surf Open, as I mentioned previously. So that was really cool to see. I'm wearing the shirt actually right now, the WSL Open, U.S. Open of surfing. So
I can't see it.
You can't see the logo, but it's there.
Why don't you stand up?
I could give you a full tour of the shirt.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a nice shirt.
You can't really see there's like the front logo. The back's better. You'll see it more.
Yeah. It's a cool shirt.
It is. So that's the shirt. So anyways, they had the Surf Open down there the whole time. They basically had the men's and women's longboard as like competition, as well as like the shortboarding competitions. So this was actually at the same time around as like the Olympics. So a lot of the surfers were in Tahiti at the time. So it's a lot of like smaller surfers. Like they had some people come. One guy flew in from Tahiti. Like he just finished his heat and then he came there for the competition. But for the most part, just smaller surfers, like local as well. But really fun to watch. I've never really seen surfing like in person, like competition. So it was really cool to see. But basically how it works, I didn't know how this works, so I figured it out when I was down there. But how they usually do it is they'll have like different heats. So each heat will have like, if it's a smaller competition for like the women's longboarding, they had 2 people in each heat. And then how it works is you get 30 minutes and you basically paddle out, and whoever gets like the best wave, like the most technical or like highest scoring wave. So what they'll do is like you'll get more if you're like longboarding. It's like your footwork, like it's like if you're like crossing over or like going to the nose, hanging 10, all that shit. How fast you're going, how long you ride the wave, just how technical and how like good the run is. And basically they'll score it. I'm pretty sure out of 10, so it's like how high a score you can get. And then from there, but basically they'll take your 2 best runs and they'll combine the score, and that's like your score for the heat. And then whoever has the higher score
average
win the thing. No, they'll just take both, so they won't even average them. They'll just take the 2 best runs. And then what's interesting about it as well is there's this like priority. So when you're surfing out there, obviously you have 2 people. It can be confusing if you're catching the same wave, like who gets to go. Because if you're dropping it on the same wave, you can like cut someone off. It can get dangerous, like some safety cautions, all that stuff. So basically they have this thing that's called priority. So if you're the first surfer, like when the heat starts, you both paddle out, like straight out or whatever. and the person who's left of the wave and who's further out gets priority of the wave. So if there's a wave coming in and they're both like close to each other, the surfer with priority is allowed to go. But if they're like separated, their priority doesn't matter because they're far enough away that it's like not going to interfere with each other. So priority is really interesting, especially when it comes to like, let's say there's like 5 minutes left in the heat. If you have priority and there's another surfer like further away from you, if you paddle up right next to them and sort of sit right next to them, they can't go because they're waiting for you because you have priority. So you can almost like, that's where like the strategy comes in, where you can almost like hold someone off from like catching the wave and like almost secure the dub. So it gets pretty interesting. There's like some strategy that goes behind it, but definitely really cool to watch, and definitely saw some like pretty good surfers. So I think my favorite for the trip was Natsumi. Is like this Asian woman on the longboarding, and she was really good. So really cool to see her, as well as the first ever Canadian Olympian for surfing was down there. Her name was Sanoa, and she's actually from Tofino, which is pretty cool. So local legend was down there. She unfortunately came last in the heat, but really cool to see her surf because she was actually surfing.
Of course,
the Olympics.
she's from Tofino.
Exactly.
Surfing spot of BC.
Yeah. But yeah, she was like the only surfer that's ever represented Canada, male or female, because there's just been, I mean, we have Tofino, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Surfing.
Yeah. And how old was she? Do you know?
I think she's like 20. She's got to be like mid 20s. Like, she's not that old. Definitely younger. But yeah, pretty cool to see.
That is cool. Yeah.
And then what else? Like down there, it was a really cool event. They had like, so down there they had the like Surf Open was down at the same time, but then they also had like an X Games like exhibition or ramp or whatever. So they had a big mini ramp it's not a mini ramp, it's just a full like ramp, half pipe for skateboarding. So X Games basically put that up, and we got to watch that. We actually just watched the jam, like the actual competitions going on like Saturday, so like today actually. But it was really cool. We just saw a bunch of like younger kids like just shred the ramp. It was insane.
You're really confusing me. So Saturday?
Yeah, like today is like the competition for the skateboarding.
Today's Friday.
Okay. Well, tomorrow, it's like,
so yesterday.
It's confusing. Yeah, because yesterday technically when it comes out. But anyways,
when did you go? Like, when did you watch it?
I watched it on like Tuesday or Thursday.
Okay.
So basically what they did, so this is probably really confusing to the viewers, but basically, so the U.S. Open of Surfing, it's all the surfing stuff, but then X Games also had like an exhibition, and they had the ramp there, and basically we watched skateboarding like half pipe. So it was really cool to see.
Tony
Never
Hawk
seen that shit.
Did that in like the 2000s, right? He did the same competition.
Yeah, like on all the X Games shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never seen that in person. Never seen a ramp that big. I think it's got to be like at least like, I think it's like 16 or 12 feet, like a fucking huge ramp. So really cool to see. And there's like, they're all young kids like my age and younger. Probably the oldest kid was 17, 18.
Would you drop in?
Bro, no way, bro. I think if I did, I'd probably like drop in and then just eat shit and then just like slide all the way down.
But I saw that saying that like if you drop, I guess it depends on the ramp size, but if you drop in, you're not gonna go forward unless you like put your foot forward. Like,
yeah.
If you're like having your back feet, so like you know how the board has that like
the kick
at the front. So if you're putting your foot there,
yeah,
you're gonna like go over obviously. But if you're like, this is just what I've seen online. I don't know how true it is because I haven't dropped in really. So if you like have your back feet further back, it's like impossible for you to go forward.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with these ramps, because they're so big, the wall, like there's actually like a vertical, it's just straight vertical.
Right. So
there's straight vertical.
So it's different. Yeah.
It goes straight vertical and then it like bottoms out and like kicks. Right. But if you get like caught weirdly like on this part, you can either get sent like completely backwards or forwards, and that's like when it gets a little scary. But
true.
Yeah, these kids have probably been skating it like their whole lives, so it's like insane. Like there's a kid probably like probably 7 or 8, like doing like 360s and like he did like kickflip indie, which is like kickflip and grab the board and land back on it. And these kids are like, brother, like they said, like the commentators like these are the future generation of like vert skating.
Yeah.
And they're all sponsored too. Like they had their sponsors come down. They had guys filming them on the ramp and stuff. So really cool to see.
You know anyone that would drop in?
I think I know. Well, actually, I don't know if this guy would drop in. You would know him, but I don't think he would because he skates like street. So I don't know how good he is at like half pipe and stuff. But actually, I do know one guy, one local legend, Sluggo would definitely drop in there because he skated vert back in the day. But
and would he be able to do it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he'd definitely be able to drop in. He'd do it. The guy that I'm talking about, if you guys know skateboarding, Sluggo Boys, part of like the RDS crew, but he was the first guy ever to do a backflip on a skateboard and land it. So, local legend, bro, from Vancouver. So shout out Sluggo. But yeah, that was really cool to see. Never seen that before, and pretty interesting event. And then on top of all this, they had like live performances and stuff. The best that we saw was Sblime was down there. So basically they had, so the singer's obviously dead, Bradley, but he has his son. So his son just started playing for Sblime 2024. His first performance was in Coachella. So that was like, I don't know how long ago that was, but he just started
like
playing this
April,
year.
March?
Yeah, like a couple months ago. So he played out there. They had like a big stage. The thing was, the event was 21 plus, so we actually couldn't go in to see, but the beach is actually right there. So everyone was just like piled around the beach, like right next to the stage. You couldn't see in, but you could hear it like perfectly fine. So that was really cool. Yeah, and he was really good. So I was really hyped on that. Really cool vibe, like right on the beach. Everyone's like singing, dancing around and stuff. So that was really cool. And I was really happy about that. And then what else? We just did a lot of surfing. We got wetsuits when we were down there. Like we used to rent them out, but now we got our own wetsuits and boards and stuff. So it's like 5-minute walk to the beach, and then we pretty much surfed like all day. So really good. I'm not that good at surfing, unfortunately, not yet. But
seems very hard. I would probably try it and just get so pissed and just not want to do it again. So I don't think it's really for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's frustrating because it's like, it looks really easy. Like if you're on the shore and you're just seeing people just stand up and like effortlessly like glide through the waves and stuff. But like, you got to remember, these people, especially like the Californians, have been doing this shit like their whole lives. Like, dude, there's like this one guy we're talking to. He's like 60 something. He's been surfing his whole life, and he's trying to like sell my dad this this longboard or whatever, and he's like, yeah, it's made in South Africa, it's got these like different rails and whatever. Like, honestly, I think if you're a beginner surfer, like, you don't need the best stuff as long as you have like a decent-ish board and like you have your wetsuit. It's more so, I think, about just like getting out there and like consistently going. Like, it's the same with anything. If you're a beginner in anything, it's more so about just getting out there and doing it and practicing, and I think that's the way to go. But yeah, it is frustrating for sure. Like, it's definitely not easy, but I think what makes it less frustrating is knowing that you're progressing. Like, definitely from the beginning of the trip, like when I first got there to like now, I think I'm better off. But unfortunately, like, I'm not going to be able to surf for like another 6 months or a year. So it's like all that progress is just going to be lost over time, right? Till I like get to surf again. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, definitely really fun. And, it was a good trip. It was cool. So, yeah.
Well, when you were doing that, having fun, I was watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy came out the last season came out. I watched the first 2 episodes, and it's very confusing, but since I watched the second one, I kind of get where it's going with the plot. There's only 9 episodes instead of 10, which is unfortunate, but the first episode's like an hour long, so it kind of makes up for it. I'll talk about it more when I finish it. I also watched Skyscraper, which was very cool when it comes to technology. Like, dude, it's such a good movie when it comes to like the special effects. Like, Dwayne Johnson's, like, he didn't have a leg in the movie. He was missing a leg. Man, I gotta look it up. I don't know how they did that, because he literally had no leg. I don't know how he like hopped around, and like, I guess they like can like cut shots in between with like green screen and stuff like that. So that's probably how. But other than that, it was a very good movie. The technology, although it's fictional, it's very like realistic to where this like planet's heading, and it's just super cool. Based in Hong Kong. I thought it was a good movie. It's just like one of those Die Hard remakes. So pretty typical with what you want to see when it comes to that. But I thought it was really good. I would recommend anyone that likes action movies. This was it was a lot more scary than Die Hard with what he had to do with the building. I mean, you can see it in the preview. Like, it is like, it's so realistic looking. Mm-hmm. Like, you would actually think that you could see someone doing this in real life. It is crazy. It looks so real. It is very good. So, would recommend that. Anyone that likes Dwayne The Rock, as well as any action movie, any suspenseful movie is very suspenseful. But it's pretty good.
Isn't there a scene, I don't know if this is the same movie, but like, doesn't it like flood at some point? And then he's like, okay, this is something else with The Rock, I think, but he's like drowning and he's got to like stay above, and it's like, I think that's like my worst fear is like a flood.
Dude, drowning is like the worst way to die.
Yeah.
Like one of them. Cause it's just how scary it is.
Yeah, because it's like,
it's not a quick death, dude. You're suffering. You're like scared to death, literally.
Yeah, no, and then you get like exhausted, and then it's like, it takes a while. So like,
yeah,
I think that's my biggest fear of the.
I've almost drowned a few times, but nothing like too serious. Like, I've always had someone there to like get me,
save you. Yeah.
But I've almost like, I've been like drowning, but like before I learned to swim, like when I was really little, like I only remember like one time when I was on like vacation or something. But it was, yeah, like looking back, it's like, I don't know how people can't swim, because like once you learn how, it's like super easy.
Yeah.
It's just like an instinct, really.
Yeah.
So like that kind of confuses me. I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around that. I was pretty young, but I do remember one time I just like couldn't breathe, and I was just like, I kept going under the water. Mm-hmm. And like I would have drowned eventually, but like I just got pulled out. So
yeah,
nothing like too scary.
Yeah.
But obviously it's like not fun.
Yeah.
I didn't consider, like at the time, like I didn't consider death. Like,
yeah.
I was never like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, but I was just like, I was drowning. I mean,
yeah.
But
and you're also like pretty young, so you probably don't even think about, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I don't think about that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I would have died like after a few minutes probably.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm fine.
Speaking of that, like this is kind of sad topic, but there was in Huntington, like before we got there actually, there's like a 15 or like 17-year-old kid, like pretty much our age, he went for a night swim with his friends. And like the thing is with Huntington is like, so the beach is like super long, and like the breaks are like, the waves, I don't know, they like can change, right? But the currents, they get really bad, like swells and currents that come in. And basically he was swimming with his friends, and then they just like didn't see him. Like he just got pulled under, and then some current just took him out. And then they had like search teams and like search parties go out to like find the guy, and they called it off. Like they couldn't find him. So like,
that's so scary, bro.
Yeah,
and
it's just
sad.
Like, it's brutal. And it's like, the guy's just a young guy. Like there was like on the pier, like the Huntington Pier or whatever, they had like flowers and candles and stuff. But like, yeah, just a young kid going for a swim, and then it's like gone. So,
don't swim at Huntington Beach at night, guys. That's our message.
Yeah, that's the takeaway for the episode. So don't do that. But yeah, really scary that, you know, that can happen. So be careful, you know.
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
Oh yeah, I got the last thing. So I don't end on like such a sad, like dark note, you know what I mean? This week, well today actually, I'm leaving for Seattle. So I've been really busy. Like Huntington, got back last night kind of, and now I'm going to Seattle for the weekend. Me and some of my friends are gonna go watch the doubleheader against the Mets. So Mariners versus Mets. Should be good. He got tickets for us. So we're going to go drive down today. Hopefully the traffic's not too bad, but I'm excited. I've been down to Seattle once this summer already for a Blue Jays game. And yeah, it's a great time. I really enjoy it. Seattle's a cool city.
Are you just there for the day?
I think for like 2 days. We'll get a hotel.
Oh, you're going to get... Hey, you already got the hotel or no?
Yeah, they got it booked. So, yeah, we should... I don't really know exactly what we're doing the day. Probably just walk around, go check out the city a bit. But yeah, it should be fun.
That's so sick, bro. That'd be so much fun. I really want to see a Mariners game.
Have you been to Seattle? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've been to Seattle, but haven't seen Mariners. I would like to see a Blue Jays game, so if I can go to Seattle and see it, that would be a lot of fun. That's a big wish that I want to go and get.
The coolest thing about another thing too is like we're watching both games. So like whenever I've gone down for like a Jays game or whatever, I've seen like just like the one game, but like I've never seen like a back to back, like a double header. So that should be really cool. Because we got tickets for both games, and apparently the seats are good. So can't complain there.
It's a lot of fun. I would love to do a road trip. Like when I had a plan, not really a plan, just an idea. Like when I graduated, I was gonna go like drive to like do a road trip with one of my friends that drives to Edmonton. Didn't really happen, but
yeah.
I would like to do a road trip one day with a lot of the guys.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so, one day, but no plans right now. I'm mainly focused, like there's stuff I want to get done this summer that I haven't done yet. I want to go, and like once these stuff are done, like that will be my summer goals complete. I want to go camping, and then I want to like try to get a lot of people to play football.
Yeah.
Like a 7-on-7, hopefully. 14 people is a lot to ask for, but I don't know. If I invite people, I'll just tell them like bring whoever you want. And then I also want to I don't know, hopefully, I mean, I got robbed of my travels. I was supposed to leave today. Yeah. I actually had a reminder on my phone saying leave this morning to go to the airport, which just rubs in my face. It's pretty sad. But I don't know if I mentioned this on the episode, but one door closes, another one opens. I got a job. So with that, because I didn't go, I'm able to work. And if I did go, I probably wouldn't have got the job. So, like I mentioned last episode, I think this could be for a good thing, right? I mean, I get more money, could go somewhere else in Asia. So, could be really worth it. And I mean, I'll show you right now, Justin, the weather is so bad there. Yeah. Like, it's like 34 degrees, but like, dude, it's fucking... It says like, I wonder if it still shows, but it says like excessive heat warning when I click on it. I like saved it in like the location, but so it's 20. Okay, so it says it's 26 degrees at 2 a.m. with 87% humidity. And then look, so 35, 35, bro, I would have to deal with this, dude.
Yeah, I like, one thing I kind of realized, like being in California, is that like I do not do well with the heat. So like the sun there, like I feel like the temperature here has actually been really like, it's been really hot. Yeah. Like when I've been away, like yesterday was like 28 or something.
But it's like nice though. Like to me, that's like hot, but like not, that's like, I like it.
There's like a breeze, and it's not as humid and muggy and stuff, but like down there in California, it's like, it's hot. But then the sun, like the UV is higher or something, but like the sun is like more intense. Like you get burnt. Like I got pretty badly burnt like the one day, and it was like, dude, it's fucked. And like I just like, honestly, I like the sun, I like the heat, but to like a certain extent. Like I just realized
it's
like
35.
Yeah, 35, bro. Like I could not deal with that. Like I know it seems like, oh, like maybe you think, oh, it's like it's just weather, blah blah, but like it's just like it takes
the fact that you're out and about walking around. That's the issue.
That was the thing. Like we were out and about, like we go surf in the morning or something. We'd come back and then just like drained, right? Like you're just tired and you're kind of like done. You got to like recharge a little bit before you go back out. But like that's the thing, when you're on vacation, you want to like get out and do things. And the last thing you want to be doing is just like sitting inside and like.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be like, I think it's for the better. Yeah. To be honest, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
That's all of our topics. Unless you have anything hidden that you want to pull out of your ass again.
No, I think that's it.
So thanks for watching, guys. We're going to be in the studio next week. And, dude, like, we only have a few more episodes until the summer ends. And I don't have any guests planned because, to be honest, guys, it's been really hard to get guests lately because we've had so many people on. And we just ran out of people to have on. I mean... Comment like who you want to see back if you want to see anyone back. A lot of people we've had on we cannot get back on because they like have and they're somewhere like living like somewhere else now or something. Yeah. But just leave a comment. We'll check it out and see who you guys want on. But not many new guests coming up, unfortunately, because we just ran out of people. That's pretty much it. I mean, don't really have. I mean, we could get people that are like really shitty, but I mean, that's up to me and Justin, right? If he knows somebody that wants to come on, but they're like a shit guest, he probably won't do it. I mean, the same for me. So, yeah, you guys got to trust us. We're not having guests on for a good reason and for a reason in general. Yeah.
I mean, with that too, like the last episode with a guest, Don Bell, I thought we both were like really happy with the episode, thought it went really well. But like some of those videos just don't get the same views, which is like, it's kind of frustrating. It's like you know, we go through all this like work to get a good guest. We like put in all the time and then it doesn't perform as well as like,
right, yeah,
just like a random video. But it's like, what I was saying is like,
just us sitting down talking.
Yeah, like sometimes this just does better. But like, I mean, we don't really do it for the views. That's not why we do it. So, I mean, it's like a different thing, but it's just like sometimes frustrating when it's like you put in all this work and it just doesn't like get the same you know, praise as
for sure.
ones,
I mean, we did a voting on here before, like what videos you like better, ones with us, just us, or the ones with guests. And more people like the ones with guests, but it was a close poll. Like a lot of people still like the ones just with us. So I feel like we're not doing anyone like a huge a favor when it comes to no, that's the wrong phrase. We're not doing bad compared to like what we might think, because a lot of people like the ones with us. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, that being said, like we gotta try to, you know, the summer's almost done. Like summer is like usually easier to get guests because it's like, I mean, we say that, but then people work and people are on vacation. So I mean, it's just like, how do you juggle that? But yeah, if we can get some guests, hopefully before we close out the summer, I get a couple more. So yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. This has been episode 214, and we are out. So check out the description for all our links there. We'll see you next week.
I can't sleep, no, I can't miss. I got icebergs on my neck. I could sink a ship out of space, but not regular.